Hey, boys and girls, what's up? It's your man right here, the one and only, the Black Avenger, aka the Black Azrael Lee Sanders, coming at you with a little bit of breaking news for this Wednesday, April 22nd, 2015. Apparently, a very weird and a very awkward interview that Robert Downey Jr. conducted while promoting the Avengers 2 movie with reporter, hopefully I'm pronouncing this name right, Krishnan Guru-Murthy. It's gotten a lot of people talking, not in a good way, as I watched the interview and I can just tell you I was straight up disgusted with what I had saw from this Krishnan that calls himself a British television presenter and a journalist. And I'm going to explain to you the reason why for those of you that have not seen this video yet. So, those of you that might be looking for the actual video, I did post a link down in the episode description so you can check it out. But this is pretty much my reaction to the video, as I've been, my God, almost a lifelong Robert Downey Jr. fan. Let's jump right into this, though, man. I'm so worked up. My nerves are like, I'm trying to stay calm because I'm like pretty ticked off right now from what I had saw. So I'm giving you guys an instant reaction. To recap, a Channel 4 news interview with Robert Downey Jr., it went weird in like a totally jacked up way when Krishnan asks RDJ about comments he made in a New York Times article back in 2008 about how his political views changed while he was in prison. Now, just pause right there. You hear that and you're saying to yourself, RDJ, he's making his rounds to promote Avengers 2. What the hell does this have to do with him promoting a movie based off of comic book characters? What the hell is going on right here? I know, right? So let's just pick up little highlights here. So Krishnan says to RDJ, does that mean you're not a liberal or you came out of prison not being a liberal? At which Downey responds, aren't we promoting a movie? That's followed up by him saying, I wouldn't say that I am a Republican, a liberal, or a Democrat. I was just talking to the person that was doing the interview that day, and that happened to be my opinion. Now, the next question that Krishnan asks is RDJ, gets even more awkward, folks. Direct quote, obviously, you are doing a promotional tour round of interviews, and that's why we're talking about the movie. But we would also like to take a correction. We would also like to talk a little about you. And I don't know how comfortable you are talking about yourself at the moment. RDJ follows that up with, you have as much time as anyone else will, meaning good luck because it ain't happening. Downey then looks off to someone. I don't know if maybe it was a publicist, the producer. I don't know who it was, but he kind of looks off to the side, kind of giving them the gesture. This interview needs to be over. At this point, Guru said the interview still had a few minutes left, and RDJ came back with, your foot is starting to jump a little. You better get to your next question. Guri then attempted to ask this, direct quote, you've talked in other interviews again about your relationship with your father and the role of all that, the dark periods you entered and taking drugs and drinking and all that. And I just wondered whether you were free of all that. As you would imagine, my man Robert Downey Jr. got up, didn't utter a word, just walked away. The interview was over. You see the cameraman, he's looking like, what the hell did I just witness? As you can hear RDJ off camera kind of basically saying, we're getting a little bit Diane Sawyer here. You know, what the hell? And this is why shows like mine, this is why shows like, my God, I could just name a whole list of really good shows that's out there that, if you want to be technical, are underground, meaning there's not a lot of people that know about our shows, know about the caliber of people that we've interviewed, that we've had the opportunity to interview over the years. This is why it becomes really hard for us broadcast journalists or people with our own respected shows, podcasts, you name it. This is why it's very difficult for us to get a hold of big name celebrity guests like a Robert Downey Jr., is because you have dumbass mother lovers like this guy that just ruins it for everybody, that it becomes even more tougher to try to secure an interview with that big name celebrity. And I would just hope, and I'm praying and I'm hoping that Robert Downey Jr. doesn't look at this experience and is like, you know what, I really wasn't even aware who that guy was. From here on out, if I've never heard of them, I'm not going on their show. I'm going to stick with the people that I know are safe, that are going to do me right. When I'm there to promote XYZ, that's what we're going to talk about. Unless I bring up the topics, this is what we're going to be talking about. This is what we are going to be promoting, because this is what I'm here to promote. Nothing more, nothing less. This is it or bust. No interview. I hope he doesn't operate in a way where he's gonna even be more difficult to try to secure for an interview, because I mean, look, I grew up on this man. He was a bad boy back in his day. He still has a little bit of a mean streak in him, but I tell you what, this RDJ that we have compared to how he was in the 90s, totally two different people. I remember a RDJ from the 90s that every time you turn around, he was always getting in trouble with the law, not in a good way. The drugs, the drinking, all that, sleeping with wide variety of women. Every time you turn around, he was always making headlines. It wasn't in a good way. Hell, man, I remember one of my favorite Fox TV shows back in the day was Ally McBeal, and I remember how ecstatic I was, and my friends that watched it as well, were when we heard that RDJ was joining the cast. We're like, oh, okay, well, this is gonna kind of get a little bit interesting. I was watching it off and on before that, but when I heard RDJ was coming on board, I was like, things are gonna get even better. And for the love of him, he kept entering rehab during that period of time. And I remember he was doing some really solid work on Ally McBeal. If I'm not mistaken, I think he even got nominated for a Best Supporting Actor award for a TV series. I don't know if he won it, but I do remember for a fact he got nominated for that. And I mean, the future looked really bright for him on there, but old demons, they come back hard with a vengeance. He gave into it, and it basically cost him his spot on Ally McBeal. As I remember, well, the guy that replaced him, I think it was John Bon Jovi that replaced him, and it just really wasn't the same after that. But I mean, here's a man that, say what you want. I mean, he's done a really good job in trying to turn his life around. Of course, in recent years, he made headlines through his son, who he kind of noticed was somewhat following in the same footsteps with him as he was at one point early on in his career, as his son started experimenting with alcohol, drugs, and he tried to get him the help that he needed. He kind of realized that because of what all he was doing over the years, it obviously had a profound impact on his kid. And he had already decided long time ago that he had to change his ways, not just for himself but for his respective family. And here's his son kind of following in those old footsteps. And last I heard, the son seems to be doing much better now. But RDJ's really done a good job in trying to turn his life around. And honestly, if it was a situation where He's still the same old guy. He's going to relapse at any minute. Because, I mean, when you go back to that period when he got basically fired from the Ally McBeal series, a lot of us were under the impression that he was not going to be able to get a job in Hollywood ever again, that he like blew his chance. Because at that point, whatever movie deals would have come his way as a result of the drugs and the alcohol, a lot of people in Hollywood back then, they were staying away from him. But here you had the producers and the creators of Ally McBeal. They're like, we can make this work. Surely we could turn him around. And he was good for a little bit, but then he relapsed. Once he relapsed, everybody was like, y'all, he's done. But somehow the man managed to turn everything around for himself. And he has my profound respect, uh, great admiration I have for this man. And, these are questions that you just don't ask somebody. And I think basically what this guy was looking for, and he's going to get it. He's going to get it because we're talking about him. We're talking about the incident. Other people are going to be talking about it as well. So it's going to get this guy his 15 minutes of fame or whatever. This is the same guy that asked awkward questions to Quentin Tarantino a couple of years back. Pissed off Quentin so much, he said basically like something along the lines of, I'm going to have your job or your butt is mine, something of that nature. And this guy's just trying to do nothing more but look for his 15 minutes of fame. He was not trying to go into this interview asking the same typical 5 to 10 questions that everybody else is probably going to be asking with regards to the Avengers movie and all that. As he wanted to just shake things up, he wanted to try to get his name out there, his brand, and everything. And, you know, it's disgusting in my book. It's just totally disgusting. And it sickens me to know that we live in a day and age right now, at least when it comes to journalism, when it comes to news reporting on television. It disgusts me that nowadays, when you turn on your local news or world news, it's all about the scandals. It's all about the juicy headlines. It's all about doom and gloom. It's all about scandal. Very rare do you see a news network or your local news station promoting good things that's happening, whether it be in your community or a kind act that was done in another state or another country. We don't really see enough of it. Don't believe me? I mean, just turn on your local news and like the first 20 minutes, it's freaking doom and gloom, and it just sickens me. And it sickens me even more to know that there's people like this Krishan guy, whatever the hell his name is, Krishani, whatever. I'm just going to call him KGM. That's what I'm going to refer to him as. It sickens me to know that there are people out there that like abuse their power in the position that they're in. And, I would think that the news station that he's working for would be like, what, we got to put our foot down. We got to let this guy know that he cannot be operating like this. This is uncalled for. It's unprofessional. My whole argument is if you don't have anything nice to say about a guest that you're bringing on your show, if you're going to go in an area where it's going to be very uncomfortable for you and that guest you're interviewing, here's a couple of things that you need to think about. And this is a message to everybody that is in the field of entertainment, reporting news. I don't care if it's wrestling, you name it, sports, whatever type of news that you cover. You have a show, you do it, you interview people, a little bit of food for thought. If you're going to go that route where it's possibly going to be very heated, it's going to be very confrontational, don't go there unless you never plan on having that person on your show again. But also know this, if you are going to go there, it's very easy for that person that you're talking to call up their circle of friends that they know and try to make sure that your show is blacklisted Word of mouth, that's how it works. And especially in this day and age of social media, it's very easy for somebody to get blacklisted. So, I mean, really put some serious thought process into it. I mean, it'd be one thing if KGM said to Robert, I just have to say on a side note, it's really awesome as someone that has watched you for so many years. Uh, I can just tell you honestly, it's nice to see how well you've been able to turn your life around. We know when we were watching you years prior, it was a little rough around the edges there for you, but really proud with the position that you're at right now in your life. May you continue to have success. It would have been one thing if he would have went in that direction, but to basically use this movie promotion opportunity to basically try to take little digs at the man, unprofessional, no matter how you cut it. And I know we're probably going to have some people that are fans of this guy. They're going to try to defend him. Some of you are probably, a majority of you actually at that, are probably like, I don't know who this guy is. But yeah, Lee, fuck him. I want to know what you guys think with regards to this. So post your comments down below. And at this point, we'll follow up on what you all have to say on our radio edition of the RCWR show, which you can catch Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker.com. All the links you need is in the episode description. And hopefully I made some very valid points. You guys can appreciate, where I'm coming from and everything that I've laid down here. And make sure you share this. You can Google Plus it, Facebook it, retweet it. Always one of the many ways you can spread the good word about our content. And there was something else I was getting ready to say to you guys. Yeah, you guys that's new and you're checking us out for the very first time, I'd love to have you subscribe to us so you never miss out. I mean, we do little pieces of breaking news like this. We cover any and all things entertainment. If you're into wrestling, we're definitely the channel for you. We review music albums. I mean, we do a little bit of something for everybody. Not to mention, we do have our own respected series of interviews that we do with folks. You can actually check out our playlist right now under guest exclusives and see who all we've had the opportunity to chat with so far. Some of the names may surprise you, and others you may be like, oh, let me see what this is about. So check it out when you guys get a chance. But that's going to do it. Until next go round, wishing all y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. Give this a thumbs up when you do. You're showing your love and appreciation for us YouTube video creators. Everybody, take care.